Welcome to Lindemann Outdoors. Join Buckshot and Iceman Lindemann as they celebrate God's beautiful creation through fishing, hunting, and outdoor adventures. It's time to fill the freezer and enjoy the great outdoors the way it was meant to be.
Welcome back, everybody. Lindemann Outdoors. I apologize for the delay, but I was busy moving and to a new podcast location, if you will. We got a new studio. Got a special guest in studio today, Red, who, even Taylor Swift needs two names. Red, the icon, only needs one. I refer to her as Red, the walleye slayer. She's my neighbor. So when we moved to Webster here, Red was one of the first people I met. She loves to hunt and fish just like we do, so she's going to be a good guest today. And then also I thought we could kind of catch up on some things. Then we'll talk a little hunting, a little fishing, talk about how Red got into hunting and fishing, and how Jacob, some of your experiences from your youth. And what's going on with you, Jacob? What have you been up to lately?
Not a whole lot, besides a lot of working, a lot of kids, a lot of side jobs, doing football radio and shooting weddings and all sorts of fancy stuff, super nerdy stuff. Not hunting, which is a problem.
We are going to solve that.
Getting an itch.
So speaking of hunting, we got our new broadheads in from VP Archery, the new Omega. This is actually
with bleeders.
With bleeders, 125 grain. These are actually yours, Jacob.
I don't see them on any arrows that are pre-built for me. I'm a little confused.
As you can see, these are in my possession. So possession is 9/10 of the law. You may or may not get these back, but I have got these sighted in on my bow. I got arrows made for myself. See how I am. But they are flying. They are right on with my field points. They tune super easy, super accurate. And I shot them through the target a bunch of times, and they were still sharp when I took them out. So great craziness. They're super easy to sharp, which is nice about them. You can just, that's part of their technology. You can just lay them flat, and you just run them on a stone, and they sharpen right up. So highly recommend these.
We're excited to see how they'll do, too.
Yeah, I can't wait to send one through a deer to see what they do. I think it's going to be awesome. So very excited about that. We're excited we got Red in the studio today. Jacob, what do you have to say about Red?
Before I met Red, the first time I met Red was after killing a turkey, and she just roll up to our truck window.
That's true. We doubled that day.
Yep. And the one thing you should know about Red is this girl needs her own sitcom or a camera crew following her around, because I don't know what, but just comical, hilarious, just, she's also kind of a little bit of a badass, not afraid to say what she wants.
True.
You can't really explain it without meeting her, but she's something else, I'll tell you that.
I apologize for being half off camera here, but we haven't got our webcam set up for this studio yet, but it's going to be awesome when we get this done, so we're pretty excited about this. We're going to hopefully, I got this set up so we can have guests in at this location, and then also it's just a good little recording studio. We got Zeddy with us, of course, as always. The wonder dog. She can't
Lindemann Outdoors mascot.
She can't be left alone. But anyway, so I think it was, Red, when did we go fishing? Me, you, and your dad were out.
I'd say probably early July-ish.
Yep.
Mid-July.
And I noticed Red was using these certain spinners, and she was catching all the fish. Now, Jacob, you know me. What will I do when I see this happening, usually?
Either steal the rod, or...
What
he does is he looks at your lure and goes, "Oh, it's good, but actually what would be better is this one." He pulls it out of his back pocket and goes, "Oh, this one's a little bit like yours, but actually it's a little bit different, a little bit better. So I'm going to throw this on and not tell anybody. And then I'm going to start catching all the fish."
These blades that I just got?
That's just like the one that I always
use. This is the one that she was always using.
Oh, that's
and
so
that
weird.
actually catches the fish.
That actually catches the fish.
And then that's your favorite color, pink.
And this is my favorite color, pink.
Is it bubblegum pink?
This one is bubblegum pink.
Bubblegum pink is the best.
Yeah, it's not the other pink that we were sometimes referred to. We're going to keep this PG today. Even though, Red, you are 18, so we could have a... But, we recently learned we have a lot of kids that listen to this show.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
surprised. My young nieces and nephews and their friends, and we have
Kids that
way more fans than we thought we did. We thought we had like 4 people out there, and turns out
we have like 10.
we have like 10. We're super excited. But we're gonna try to have a good show. But yeah, so anyway, I thought Jacob would enjoy seeing that I found this color that you have.
You know, I thought it was bad doing it to your own child, but doing it to someone else's child that's just criminal.
Red is. I told you she was just catching so many fish that I just netted fish that whole night. I was the net minder. So I was like, wow.
And you had 2 rods. The rest of us only had 1.
Oh, that's right. That's odd. I tried to stack the deck in my favor.
It's weird.
Well, I like fish tacos, and the key ingredient to fish tacos is fish.
You don't say.
Yes, you have to have those. Otherwise, you just have tortillas, and they're with lettuce. It's like a vegan taco. They're no good. Nobody likes those. Even vegans don't like vegan tacos.
I don't think vegan taco.
They are now. They're going to be like, oh, I can have vegan taco. What's on there? It's yummy. Let me have some of that. You got
Little
sauce?
sour cream.
A little sour cream. A little taco sauce. Yeah, no thanks. We'll start, Red. We'll start with you. How old were you when you caught your first walleye?
I don't even know if I was able to walk yet. When we were born, we were in the hunting blind right away. I had a ground blind before I was like 6 years old.
Red was actually born in a ground blind during deer season. That's part of why she's so iconic and legendary. Is she was birthed and wrapped in Sitka the minute she came out, and then she later shot a 5x5 buck that same afternoon. That may or may not all be true, but that's what I heard.
Geez, 5x5. You've only been living in the South Dakota for almost 2 years now, and all of a sudden you're changing your ways.
Well, it's just easier to describe how many points are on each side. I've always kind of been a dual citizen of depending upon who I was talking to, whether it was a 10-pointer or a 5x5.
That's true. Up here in North Dakota, we like to say the 8-pointer or 10-pointer.
It's the 30-pointer. I shot the 30-pointer. That is true. Little accent. So, been fishing as long as you can remember.
Yep.
Obviously, how old were you when you started hunting? I mean, other than, 6 minutes old, but the next time you went out.
My dad took us all when we were little kids. We just got to carry our little pellet guns.
Oh, nice.
We got to act like those were the big guns and we could shoot them. And Yep. We'd always tell our dad that we shot the geese, but we just had a little pellet gun. There's no way we did.
You never know. One of those BBs from that Red Ryder could have took down one of those geese. You don't know.
I remember as a kid, and you had that big layout blind, I would actually sit when I was small enough. Surprisingly, I fit inside a ground blind when I was a little kid. I'd fit inside the bottom where you'd like have extra room for more shells in your feet and stuff, and I would hide in there. I'd peek my head out
with the layout blind, and I'd fold him up. I'd be like, "Stay down," and I'd pop up, shoot the geese, and then I'd let him out like he was my dog.
And he'd go get him.
He'd go get him. Go.
We never had a waterfowl dog till 3 years ago, so that's why I would always go with. I would just retrieve all the stuff.
Kids make good retrievers. I mean,
till you get chased by one, that's not dead.
That Jacob had that happen as well too. That one that stood up and hissed and was coming at me.
Yeah.
But then I walked out there and talked to him, calm the goose down a little bit with some BBs.
We've had a couple animals get back up. Remember that pheasant that Bo was supposedly that you shot? We were road hunting and then got up in the passenger seat.
Yeah.
And you opened the door and it ran out and the dog went after it and in that park, that random town.
Driving down the road, all of a sudden looking around and back, I was like, hold on. It's got a little Western right after that moment because I opened the door, the pheasant took off, and then the dog took off and ran it down. It was quite exciting. Yeah, that's happened. We had a couple deer that wouldn't die one time. That was unfortunate.
We'll have to tell that story on an After Dark episode. That one got a little Western as well.
Yeah, she was a little rough. How the deer went that far and was still...
You know what? We can just tell it anyways because we're bound to get canceled one of these days. So we're hunting in South Dakota. This is a long time ago when we were still Minnesotans.
Like 20 miles from here.
So he shoots this. It was a very wide 8-pointer. It was 4x4.
Mm-hmm.
And he shoots it a frontal shot.
Yep.
And so I'm hunting separately. He comes and gets me, and he's like, "Hey, come help me drag this deer out because the blood trail is like 2 feet wide." So I'm like, "Okay, cool, you got one, nice." So we go over there where it was, and we start following the trail. And I think I still have pictures. I'll put them up if I do. But the blood piles are just enormous. We're like, geez, how is this thing still going? We've gone a few hundred yards. And we're like, what the heck? This thing is still going. And it's along this cornfield we're following, this blood trail. And then we see the buck just standing there, like half in the cornfield. So he shoots it again. Perfect shot. Little quartering away, just, lung or double lung, and it takes off again through the cornfield. We're like, oh gee, so we wait a little bit, and we're like, this thing's lost so much blood. It's now been shot in the lungs. Let's go get it. So we're walking through the cornfield, blood everywhere. Just like I've never seen so much blood in my life. We're walking through, and then the deer's there and starts to get up after we walk up on it. So it's been shot twice. It starts to get up, so he shoots it again. Falls, tries to get back up, so we run up. Now he's out of arrows because he only had 3 in his quiver at the time. So we run up.
I now run.
The thing is just trying to get up. It's about to get up, so I had my knife on me to gut the thing. So I grab my knife, and this is why no one believes our stories. I throw it. It was in the sheath. I had the whole sheath and everything. I throw the sheath. I jump on the deer's antlers and hold it down, and he has to jump on it and do the finishing move. And finally, the deer died, but it was the toughest buck we've ever seen. It just would not die. So it took 3 arrows and a knife for this thing to expire, and it was we both stood up after it. We're like, geez, that was a little rough.
Yeah, it was disturbing. And it was, I was hoping that he wasn't going to, stab us both with his antlers because, he was going to gore us for sure. He tried to.
But he was getting that. I mean, it was peak rut. So he was just going. It's just so much adrenaline in that deer. But I've never seen a deer take that much damage and keep going.
I'm trying to find the picture right now, but yeah, he was juiced up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was like a zombie deer trying to attack.
It was insane. And I remember telling that story in school and people like, you didn't tackle a deer? I'm like, I sure had to. It was insane.
Yeah, both of us had to lay on that thing to keep it down and then hold its horns down so we didn't get gored.
Which it was a bigger bodied deer.
Huge
than the antlers would say.
Yeah, the rack wasn't as big as the buck itself was just massive. Well over 200 pounds. But that was a little scary. Red, tell me about the first buck that you shot. This was that buck.
Wow.
Yeah, you can see it.
Yeah.
But, I'm no small boy either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm going to send this to Jacob.
I have it.
Well, I'm sending it to you anyway, so it's at the top. But yeah, he ran us down. It was
the body on this deer is just insane.
He did not beat me on pictures, did he? Oh, here's a picture of the buck that. This is a video of the one coming into my decoy wanting to fight it.
Actually, you shot that deer on October 20th.
Yep, start of the
early rut.
Early rut.
2018.
When did you
power of cell phones?
When did you shoot your first buck, Red?
14 in the state of South Dakota.
Well, legally. So
yeah.
You should use that.
So I was 14.
You should use that age.
My grandpa and I and my dad went out, and we had sat all night and didn't see anything. And it's like 5 minutes before sundown, and this monster buck just walks out. So my dad let me take the shot, and we thought it was good. So we went to look for it. We were hunting kind of over a little bit of a slough. So it ran through the slough, and we looked for hours and hours and couldn't find anything, so we backed out. It was a Sunday night. We hunt like 2 hours away from home. So we backed out and went back home. My grandpa lives kind of closer, so he went back and to see if he could find it. Didn't find anything, and the rest of the season just wasn't filled with much certainty or anything, so gave up on that season. And then my second season, the Monday night before opening deer season, I blew my knee out.
Oh no.
So
Jacob knows this story.
We got a permit from the local game warden. He was nice enough to give us that. But that Saturday morning, I got up, got in the ground blind, and a deer walked out, and I shot it. Once again, went into another slough. Didn't think we'd find it, but then we drove up closer, and it got back up, so I shot it again, and that's how I got my first one.
Nice. What were you shooting for a rifle?
A 243.
Oh, perfect.
Yep.
Was this the same ground blind that you were born in? Or was it a different ground blind?
Same one.
Same one. That's what I figured.
A little weathered, but.
And, you get some years that go by. So you never did find that first monster buck? There's something worse than losing a buck. But it happens, because like we were just talking about, they are so tough, and they can get hit, and they can go for a long ways. That's why we try to put a good shot on them and put them down whenever we can. But
I had that happen last year, too.
Yeah.
And got away from us.
Yeah, it's, it's one of those things, especially when they're all rutted up. It can happen. But we, as hunters, we do the best we can to put a good shot on them and quick, clean, ethical kills, and then turn them into sausage. That's what we do. Breakfast sausage. I have to get cracking. I'm going to have to make some mid-year breakfast sausage because I don't have any deer down. I'm out of breakfast sausage. I do have some venison left in the freezer, that a little bit left, and I can make one more batch of sausage to get us through here till we shoot some deer. But we got, so I drew a South Dakota rifle tag. I got a bow tag, and I have a doe tag for this area, and I have a North Dakota archery tag. So I got 4 tags I got to fill. I haven't been out bow hunting yet, but I'm thinking here next weekend it's supposed to cool down, and I think I'm going to get after it. But Red, what are you doing next weekend? Is it the duck opener?
Next weekend is the duck opener.
So you hunt ducks as well?
The morning off of work, and I will be out there.
Yes. Request granted. Oh, that being said, you started duck hunting when you were early. Last year, of course, Red being the legend that she is, she would just send me pictures of them with their limit every day.
Then a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't even get out duck hunting, and I was like, well, take me with. But, they
this year, he'll get to go.
just keep sending me pictures of, here's our limited ducks again. And then you have a dog that you've been training.
Yes, I got a dog 3.5 years ago.
What kind of dog did you get?
I got a yellow lab, and
Nice.
I wanted her to be inside, but the deal was I had to train it. So we made a trip to Shields and got everything for the dog that we could, and she's been a heck of a hunting dog. She's probably the best one my family's ever had. She loves the water. You can't keep her out of the water. Loves to retrieve stuff. So, yeah, she's good. Yeah.
You also sent me several limit pictures of pheasants as well.
She loves to pheasant hunt till she gets tired. Then she'll just lay down.
Yeah.
But she does like to pheasant hunt. Yes.
A lot of dogs do that.
Before we had Zeddy, we had my dog that I got for free at a football game when I was 10 years old. Some ladies walk around with a basket full of puppies, and I was like, oh, this would be nice. So I grabbed one, and so our dog Penny, she was half lab, half Chesapeake. Loved the water, would fetch until her legs would fall off, and when she was of age, and we just started training her on scenting and retrieving, and we'd take her to this pheasant hunting kind of game farm where you take kids and your dogs to train them and stuff like that. And we're like, this is going to be great, because I was pretty young still. I was like 11, 12, 13 years old. We're getting into more bird hunting and stuff. And we have a dog now. It's going to be great. So we take Penny out there, and the pheasants are planted. So they kind of know hey, there's 10 in this field.
It's a hunting preserve.
Yeah. And we had a great, we call it a guide who had his own dogs, and Penny does the thing. She all of a sudden she's looking at this little, brush of weeds, and there's a pheasant in there, and she does the thing, and okay, and it flies up, and I forget who shoots it. I think you shot it, Dad, and Penny just doesn't even move. She just turns around and walks to the truck.
She's like, no, she didn't like going through the grass. She didn't like all the shooting. She's like, no, didn't care about the birds.
And some guy in the parking lot of this game preserve opened the door of the truck for her, and she jumped in, and she was just there when we got back. And she just, I'm not going.
Preserve, you got, we didn't. This guy that was with it wasn't an actual guide, but they take you to the fields that you can hunt. So there was other parties hunting here, so he took us over here, and we went through there. And then he had 2 dogs with too, which was kind of fun. But but she did not have any interest in bird hunting until like she was like 9 years old. All of a sudden, one day, the switch flipped. The swip. It's been a long week for me. The switch flipped, and all of a sudden, she became the best grouse hunting dog. Because up north, there's rough grouse. There isn't any pheasants. She became the best grouse hunting dog that you've ever seen. Because all of a sudden, her nose just clicked, and she was retrieving them.
That's weird.
It was just something switched inside of her, and all of a sudden,
And she was pointing and waiting for them, and then she'd wait for you to get close, and then she would like jump in the little brush, and they'd fly up, and you could shoot them. It just didn't make sense because for the last 8-9 years, she was just a house dog that would go on walks in the woods with you. That's what we brought her with because like she was actually a pretty good shed hunting dog, but she just for birds she just didn't care about it until she was like 9, and sadly she only lived to be 11, 12. I think she thought she was 12.
I think she was. Yeah, I can't remember if she was 11 or 12.
But so she had the last 3 just awesome years of bird hunting. But it's funny because the one bird gets shot. She didn't get scared. She didn't like jump. She just turned around.
She's gone.
Just walked. Didn't run. Just walked away.
She's like, no, I'm out of here. No thanks.
But now we have Zeddy, the cocaine bear of black labs.
Mine was bigger. My last one was, yeah.
Zeddy's a little crazy, aren't you? Yeah, the girl.
She's just a puppy.
Zeddy loves the kill.
Yeah, she likes to get after the stuff. So what would you say your favorite hunting is to do?
Duck hunting.
Really? Above
Yes.
deer hunting even?
I don't like deer hunting. It's too cold.
It's too cold.
Too cold for
I
me.
would say duck hunting's pretty darn cold.
Yeah,
But like
South Dakota.
you do your early
Yeah.
season in the water and then your late season in the fields, and then you can like put blankets and heated blankets inside of your blind, and you eat all your snacks and you stay warm.
I don't know.
Well, that's a pro move, the heated blanket.
That's
The veteran move there.
I was going to back up and go, whoa, wait a minute. There's a tip for our viewers.
And like the heated vest, but don't order one from Amazon because I did last year and it caught on fire on me. So I don't recommend them from Amazon.
The Chinese would never make such a product.
So stick to the blankets.
Well, there goes Amazon as our sponsor.
Were you hunting and it just started smoking?
Well, I tried it on the night before we went out on my couch, and I was sitting on my couch and I was like, wait a minute.
Hey, you guys smell something cooking?
I like threw the power pack out and it was hot and melted through it and everything. Yeah.
I've heard of this before as well.
Yeah. So stick to the blankets.
That is a pro move. The heated blanket
Yep.
in the layout blind.
For a person like me, that's always cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the snacks. She's
Yes.
going to fit right in with Lindemann Outdoors, Jacob. Did you also?
I heard the snacks.
Normally in the fall, it's like the big barrel of cheese balls. I'm small enough that I can fit it like right over my shoulder in my ground blind. Yes.
Big barrel cheese balls.
Another veteran move.
Can't make this stuff up, folks. This is red, all natural.
Where do you buy this big barrel of cheese balls? Cheese puffs.
Runnings has them, Menards. Yeah.
Our Runnings in town has a pyramid of cheese balls.
See, I like the cheesy mix. So it has like the pretzel sticks
good.
and the Doritos and the cheese party mix is my.
Yeah, I like those too, but
we eat a lot of munchies too. If you don't have enough room, like when you're in the slough, you got to take the bag.
see, I like those too, but every time I'm hunting with my dad and I have a snack, it's always, what are you doing? You're making so much noise. Quit moving. Shh.
My dad
And then
does
he's
lots
over
of
here
fashion.
ripping open Rice Krispie treats and oatmeal cream pies and crinkling stuff up, smushing a Diet Coke can on the ground and making noises. And I'm just like, I don't know if every child has experienced that, but when you're walking through the woods and you're, trying to not step on any twigs or try and be light, and they're like, pick up your feet. Why are you're dragging your feet together? You're making so much noise. And then like sometimes to prove a point, I would stop walking and I'd let him keep walking, and he'd be making so much noise. He'd look back and I'd be like 30 yards behind him. He's like, stop making so much. Okay.
Yep, I get that one a lot. If we're not really seeing anything, it's my fault because all the snacks. But he's eating just as many snacks.
You know, I will say, though, there was one time, I'll tell this story. I haven't told this one yet. There was probably a very huge buck moment that was my fault completely.
Which one?
We were hunting in this slough up in northern Minnesota during the rifle season, and we walked back a long ways on this dike, and there was a swamp. And my dad and his buddy Jeremy, also Jeremy, were like, hey, you take your climber, go up this tree, and we're going to go make this giant long loop around the swamp, and they're going to push the swamp where they knew this, like, I would probably say at least 160-inch or bigger deer.
Shout out to Sisler.
Huge swamp buck was living, and they knew that they saw it. And they're like, hey, whatever comes by, if he comes by, you shoot him. But it's going to take like a couple hours for us to it's going to take us at least like 45 minutes to go around the swamp and push it because it's this big of a swamp. Because you had to go all the way around to go through. And so I was like, okay, so I climb up there, and it's like, it's November and the sun is shining, but it's like 35, 40 degrees out. So it's kind of like you're warm in your big coat. And those summit climbers, is it a summit? There's something about them that they make it kind of into a lazy boy recliner, and you get pretty sleepy. So I'm sitting, I had a safety harness, had all the things, and I'm up in there and I fall asleep. And I wake up to my dad at the base of the tree blowing a grunt call at me to wake up. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I didn't see nothing.
This is like 10 out of 10 stories of Jacob's youth hunt. Here, I'll be Jacob, and I'll be asleep. Okay, now you wake me up when the deer comes so I can shoot it.
I normally get the 12-gauge alarm clock when we're duck hunting.
Yep. There's a lot of times in my early youth hunting days where I'd be asleep and I'd get I'm like, okay, got him.
Yeah.
I'm not proud of it, but also I am proud of it.
Hey, when you get up early, you need a nap. And when you're just toasty and warm,
And sometimes when I was a kid, he had this big fuzzy coat. I call it the big fuzzy coat because it's like wool one. And he'd put that on me in my chair, and I'd just get so cozy. I could just fall asleep. And I think it was his fault because he could have gave me I had this big snow suit. We had to call it the great pumpkin suit. It was orange blaze orange, bibs and a giant coat and gloves and a hat. So you're just an orange blob. And this thing's Rachel used it. I used it. My mom's used it. It's covered in blood, and it's so comfy and warm. And I fell asleep many times.
Yeah, it's how it goes.
No, but it's important to get your kids out in the woods, and
definitely.
It's on the lake, in the woods, just go for a hike. And I've seen it. I've dealt with some kids in the foster care world, and it's crazy to see how beneficial just like nature is
Fishing,
to a kid.
clam
Just
hunting.
anything.
Yeah, just getting outside.
Yeah, it is. So how would you guys, as, kids that have grown up with their dad teaching them how to hunt, how would you, what do you think what's the best way to get your kids involved in hunting and fishing? Just taking them with? You guys say?
I think just dragging them with and,
Starting
starting young, and we may complain and be cold and might fall asleep when a big buck walks by or make a bad shot or make too much noise walking. But it's just, I think it makes better people.
It does.
I think every kid that I know who I grew up with a small town, but a bunch of kids that I know, the kids that hunted and fished, and they're always good, decent people, it turned out to be. And the people who were in the cities and doing this and that, they just, like I always say on this show, your kid can't be into drugs and alcohol if they spend all their money on hunting and fishing stuff.
Yes, they can't afford.
They
can't afford it. Make them have expensive hobbies.
That's a fact.
They'll be saving their money for new boots or a new gun or new waders or, in Red's case, the new Sitka hat that costs the $700.
Yeah, the Kardashians think their clothes are expensive. Please.
No.
Please.
And no hate on Sitka. I mean, their products are the best for a reason, but boy, are they pricey.
They are.
But they're good. That's the problem also, is that they're also really good products and they last.
Good lightweight materials, but any of that stuff. I mean, QU, First Light. I got some Huntworth coats that are not as expensive that are good, and even like Cabela's brand and Shields brand, you can find some of their clothes that are nice.
Yeah.
I still think that Cabela's is like the Western wool, those big windbreaker coats. Those are
jackets with the outfitter camel with the wool, the wind shear and the wool jacket. Yeah, those are awesome.
Those are just, I mean, and they're not that bad. They're for price wise, but they're warm.
$200. They last forever. I've had mine forever.
Yeah, that's the big fluffy coat I was talking about.
Yeah, well, as for myself, I'm heading bow hunting here shortly. I got the bow ready to go. I've got all my hunting stuff together. I'm gonna go run some cameras here, some more. I've got a few out. I don't have much on camera, so I'm gonna go relocate some of those, and then I'm going to put out a few more, and then I'm gonna get after it here. And then also I'm gonna do some duck hunting if the neighbor kid and her dad dragged me out with them.
If he can wake up early enough.
Red's talking
Where are we talking?
Well, it depends, because if we do like a public field, we'll sleep the night in the pickup.
Oh my gosh.
But if it's just like a normal field that like we have permission on, probably about 3:30, 4 o'clock leave the house.
Well, I'm gonna have to. I think I'm gonna have to build that truck box camper that we were talking about.
There's something crazy about duck hunters, and they don't get a lot of credit. We're gonna get up around 11:30 p.m.
We're gonna head out there the day before, set up camp in the duck blind, and at midnight we're gonna go tape flashlights to sticks out there, so when everyone else comes in, they think there's 20 guys over here to secure our spot.
But then you come home and make some breakfast and take a good nap,
That's
and then
true.
go scouting that night or go hunting again.
And then get out there at 6 p.m. and get ready for the morning hunt. And
get up at 6 p.m. and get ready for the morning hunt.
We've done that too. We've spent the whole day out in the field too, and it did pay off. We shot some geese last year that in the picture were as big as I was. It paid off. It was 95 degrees that day, and we laid in layout blinds with our bucket of cheese balls. We survived.
Well, some of our best memories have been from South Dakota turkey hunting. It's getting up early, going turkey hunting, and then heading to the Wheel Inn for breakfast in Watertown, South Dakota.
Yep.
Jacob's like, what? Steak and eggs? $6? What?
The Wheel Inn in Watertown is where I learned that you could have steak for breakfast. It blew my mind as a kid. I was like, I was reading the menu because I was, as a kid, I always just got like 2 eggs over easy with toast and bacon because then I didn't know any better. It's what hash browns, maybe some pancakes, some chocolate chips if I was lucky. But I was looking, I was like steak. I'm like, you get steak in the morning?
You can have steak in the morning with your eggs and toast? This is crazy.
Blew my mind.
Back. Yeah. Well, Zeddy is ringing the bell that it's time to go. So I think we'll shut this episode down. I want to thank Red for joining us.
Yes, anytime.
Thank you for being an icon and influencing, young men and women to get into hunting.
Yes.
We appreciate that.
If there's any outdoor channel, documentary series, sitcom shows that need some good content, go hit up Red.
We got a shiny star for you.
Go make some millions.
Eve Ranella, come on, meat eater. We got your gal right here. We better, maybe we should make her part of Team Lindemann Outdoors. Should we snatch her up?
We can get her a hat.
We'll get her a hat. Red, you're on the pro staff. Congratulations.
Thanks.
All right.
We'll get you a GoPro and a hat, and we'll send you out.
Yeah.
I do have a GoPro, so.
Oh, start filming. All right. There we go.
We'll have Hunting with Red.
Too bad on our channel. We got her first. All right, Zeddy agrees.
Well, folks, thanks for watching. God bless America. And we'll see you at the next one. Peace out.